Hey guys, what's going on? It's Cargo1324 up here today. We are going to be taking a little bit of a look, or this could be a little review of the Amazon Fire Stick. I was given one of these the other day by Heather's dad. Well, we were, should I say? And I got to say, it's an impressive little device. And we're going to take a closer look at it. We're going to show off what it does, and I'm going to give you my impressions on it. I thought I'd do something different. I don't really do a lot of technology-based things on my channel other than gaming, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And I'm enjoying using it, and I think it's pretty cool. And essentially, all it is basically you can turn your TV into a smart TV. And there's a bunch of these Fire Stick, Roku, Now TV Stick boxes. There's loads of them out there. So I've got one here, and we'll take a quick look at what it looked like, and then I'll plug it back in and show you what it does on the TV. It looks like. So all you get with the package is you'll get the stick, the HDMI adapter, and the micro USB plug, which leads me to believe that if this breaks you can use a different one, but this is hardwired in, so I would keep an eye on it anyway. But yeah, so here's the little adapter part, which you just hook in on the end, and it's easy to set up. This is now I had an issue when I brought it. Well, we were given it because they didn't know the pin to it, because I think they were given that by someone else. I don't know the story behind it, but because it didn't have the pin, it made it impossible to do anything, and I mean anything. I couldn't even go into the settings to sign out, even do a factory reset. Oh, I'm missing one part, one most important part. Oh yeah, and here's the controller. And essentially the controller, basic little controller, back button, home button, menu button, fast forward, play, stop, rewind, buttons here, arrows, and of course this is the third generation, so it had an Alexa voice module built in, and you can do some pretty cool stuff with her. But like I said, because of the pin, it wouldn't let me do anything, and I couldn't even go into the factory reset button thing without it asking for a pin, which again, security is something that comes with these technology things. A lot of people question the security of them, so they put in these little security things like the pin and the parental controls almost, should I say. I'm just trying to plug this back in so it's easy to plug back in. So essentially, I couldn't find anything online on how to do it, and I found the video on YouTube where all you actually have to do, so if you guys are on my channel, you want to know how to factory reset it, all you've got to do is go to the option in the settings, highlight factory reset, and then hold back and fast forward for about 10 seconds, and it will do an override, and it will override it and go back to the factory resets, and then you can sign in. Now, of course, this is an Amazon based device, so be aware that it's going to have a lot of Amazon Prime stuff in here. So if you're a subscriber to Amazon Prime, then you'll get all the features and the TV shows and movies and music and all that good stuff that comes with it. I'm not at the moment. I might subscribe to it in the future, but for now, I'm not. I'm just going to set it up and then show you what it does on the TV. And be aware, see, Fire Stick comes up. It should automatically remember me. I shouldn't have to sign in or anything, so because this is the first time that I've took it out since I've used it, and I'm using this quite a bit, but a lot of the stuff that you can get on here you'll have these days with a smart TV. So this retails for £40 most places, so be aware that if you already have a smart TV, which most TVs have smart TVs built in these days, so a lot of this stuff you can get on your smart TV, and you can get it on the Xbox One as well, and PS4. So there's a bunch, well, more on the Xbox One, but there's a bunch of things that you can do with this. Now, I mentioned the voice module, and you can do some basic cool things like with Alexa. Alexa, how's the weather? And there you go. It will come up with there, and for some reason that's not where I'm living. That's not where I am, because it's using my location. But that's not where I am because I don't know why it's come up there. I think actually I know why, because my Amazon account has that as my main address, so I need to change that. But you can do things like that, and but what I mainly use it for is if you want to search for a TV show or a movie, it's quite simple. Find Iron Fist. That was just off the top of my head. I actually haven't watched this yet, but there you go. It will find you Iron Fist. You can quickly go onto it, and if you have Netflix, which I do, you can just go watch now on Netflix, and it will open up it straight from Netflix. But again, there are different things that you can use this for. There's a bunch of cool little features you can do with the voice module, and I think the voice module is pretty useful, and it saves a lot of time. But here's the basic the main home screen. So it will have all your recent stuff that you've used, and then you've got your apps and channels, and I'll show what I've got on here in a minute. But then obviously you get to all of your Prime stuff. So of course, if you've got Prime, you'll get all of these TV shows, which are Prime TV shows. It will have some featured apps and games as well. So these are ones that are sort of like they're featured ones. And there's a bunch of apps, and yes, you can get a game controller for this. So you know, you've got like a Hungry Shark Evolution there, which is the newest craze, which everyone appears to be playing. I haven't played it yet, actually. I might try it out. So you can, you know, like if you're on Amazon subscriber, you know, there's the Amazon phones and tablets which have Amazon games, so you can play them. I haven't got the controller yet, but I might test it out. And of course, your Netflix will have recommendations as well, which come up here nicely, which is cool. But it also does recommendation by your apps. Now, because I've got a bunch of these apps, which you're going to see in a minute, it recommends me some from the apps that I'm using. Of course, these are the horror ones and stuff like there. And then, of course, it will come up with featured channels. Now, I think most of these channels are like add-ons to Amazon Prime, and then of course you can, you know, buy and rent your movies and TV shows, top 3 games, recommended apps, and then all of that stuff. And of course I'll go to my apps in a minute, and then goes your video. So this is where you find some stuff here. Again, movies. Again, most of these that come up are the ones that you want to rent or buy. I don't buy digital movies. TV shows, same thing. And then apps. This is where you find the apps. And then, of course, the settings, you know, network, display and sounds, applications. This is where you go to do that factory reset that I said. You just highlight that, and then you hold the back and fast forward button, and it will do an override. So if you get this second hand or as a gift or something like that, and it's got a pin on it, that's how you override it. Can you take them out, please? So after having a look at what apps I've got on here, I've got a ton of apps on here so far, you know, your basic ones, but there's a ton of these cool little apps that I've never even knew about, like New Japan Wrestling World. So fave some TV movies. Some of them I've tried out and they haven't worked, but it does store them in the cloud. So if you install an app and you need to uninstall it, or you want to uninstall it, it will still have it recommended. But I've deleted the apps that I don't know, that don't work very well. Yeah, you can get Just Eat on here, and then there's a bunch of these like sport apps and horror apps and things like that. We'll just go back a minute, and we'll actually go into the apps, and I'll show you some other ones that you can download. Hot new releases. If you go into collections, featured.
No.
Yeah. Recommended apps, like all these movie apps, like movies apps, comedy app. Oh, actually, I might install that one. It's got stand-up and things on here. But yeah, there's loads of these apps. Be aware that a lot of these apps that you install will have things that you have to pay for. So be aware of that. But for the most part, there's a lot of all the apps on here are pretty much free, but be aware that there are a lot of apps on here that you can get tons of movies for. But be aware they're not going to be great movies. These are going to be like movies that are, you know, straight to DVD movies, straight to VHS if you want to be thing, you know. But for the most part, there's a lot of cool apps on here, and I'm going to open one that I found the other day, which is really cool, and that was that 24/7 horror app. And now, if you know me, I'm a big fan of horror, and I love my sort of messed up horror movies. I know it sounds pretty bad when you talk about it, but yeah. So you've got on here, I've just installed a bunch of them because if there's ever a day where I just want to watch TV and I don't know what to watch, I've got them on here. And then this is a really cool app, by the way. So if you go down to all movies, it might not have been, yeah, actually it might not have been this one, but this one was pretty cool. But like you see here, there's a ton of free movies as well. So there are some that you have to pay for, but for the most part, Arkham Sanctuary, wow. But for the most part, these movies are probably terrible. But these are movies that you probably wouldn't ever find on DVD or weird shit. So I'm gonna have to watch some of them. But I really like these things, and I like the recommendation things that it does for you, like Netflix recommendation, you know. But there's a ton of cool stuff on here, and baby's got that tub. And now I really do like this the all these individual sort of like smaller apps, like where was that other one? This one, Favesome TV Movies. This is a good one. Now, for the most part, I don't know the legality of these, but because they're already in the Amazon App Store, they're not ones that because you can go on the internet on this and download, you know, like all these like movie apps and things from the internet. You can do that, but how good it works is not thing. Yeah, this is the one that I was looking at the other day, and it's got this one, Bikini Swamp Girl Massacre. This is actually a movie made by Lloyd Kaufman, and if you know Lloyd Kaufman he did Toxic Avengers, and his movies are a very B-movie, very disturbing movies, but there's so many on here, so I'm never going to be short of movies and shows to watch. Now, I don't care if, you know, I just downloaded one here, which is a Western one. Let's open this one up and see what this one is. I used to watch a lot of Western movies with my granddad, actually, and war movies, so. But yeah, look. So you've got all these Western ones on here, you know. John Wayne. Happy Thanksgiving, Pilgrim. But look at all these Western movies, man. That's so cool, right? Terrible movies by today's standard, but now here's what I want to say about the legality of some of these things. Now, I don't know if you can get these apps on other things like Xbox and the internet. You probably can, but if Amazon have it in their app store, well, their app store, if it's in there, then it's legal. Because if Amazon were having in their actual app store apps that had illegal movies, you know, movies that don't have the rights to be on there, then this wouldn't be around anymore. This would have been taken down. Amazon would have got a lot of backlash from it. Now, like I said, you can mess around with the internet side of things on this and download, you know, movies and download apps. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you which ones, because I haven't done that because I don't need to, because like I said, I've got so much stuff on here and I don't really want to have things like that on here. And, you know, because I don't know if you can get viruses and things on this. You probably can. You can get viruses on anything. So I don't want to mess around and then end up breaking or, you know, doing damage to this because it was a gift. And I've got to say, I really, really think this is a good piece of equipment. Now I'm just gonna turn the camera back around and I'm gonna end it up here, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the screen. And there's something here for everyone. Like I said, if you go into collections, but But if you go into collections, you've got all your entertainment apps. So it's going to have movies, TV. Wait, they're my app. You can get ambience. So a cool thing about this is you can get all these like backgrounds, like an aquarium. I'll just download this one now just to show it off quickly. Oh wait, you have to pay for that one. I ain't gonna pay for that. But you can get all of these different backgrounds because what this TV does, well, this thing does, if you leave it, it will go into screensaver mode, and it's sort of nice sometimes to just have these pictures playing in the background, you know, these nice photographs in the background, and give your room a little bit of ambience, whatever you want to call it, in the background. So yeah, I'm just gonna turn the camera back around, and we'll end this up, wrap this up. The Amazon Fire Stick, it retails for about £40. Actually, that's not a bad price. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was in the £60-70 range, which, if it was, then it would be overpriced. But £40 isn't bad, brand new. Like I said, there are some faults, there are some issues, and there are some good things about it. Some of the cons, I'd say, is that a lot of the things on here are premium, like all the Amazon movies. If you're not a subscriber to Amazon Prime, you do lose out on not most of the stuff on here, because there's a ton of free stuff, but you do lose out on some of the stuff on here. And Amazon Prime, I don't know how much it is these days, but I know it's not cheap. Cheap. The Alexa voice module, for the most part, is pretty good, but sometimes she does struggle. I wish it would, if you said play this show on Netflix, it would just straight play it on Netflix rather than you have to click on it. But it's not an issue. It's only like an extra 2 seconds on top, and it is a lot quicker. It uses AAA batteries, 2 of them, so you know, just get some cheap batteries and it should last you a while. Another con that I find is that not all the apps on here are entirely stable, so be aware that some apps on here might not be entirely stable. By that I mean they might not work, or they might be quite slow. So, but it also depends on your internet connection as well. So be aware that, you know, better internet connection means better, you know, stability for your Fire Stick. If you have a TV that's a smart TV already, which cost about £150. If you wanted a 32-inch smart TV, it would cost about £200, £200. Now, one cool thing about this particular model, it does support 4K. So be aware that if you have a 4K TV, you will get all the 4K features that come with it. I don't have a 4K TV yet, so I don't get the 4K features, but I will get them when I get a 4K TV. So that's pretty cool. I think it's a device worth having if you don't have a smart TV or anything like that. Logan, no.
I don't know what he's done to this.
What? Just press start. You've gone into camera mode. That's why. So yeah, if you already have a smart TV, is this worth having? Probably not. No, I will say that, you know, but if you're a fan of TV and technology, it's definitely a cheaper option than some of the ones out there. But like I said, it's more of an Amazon thing. It would have been cool if you could get the Play Store on here and play your Play Store games on here, Android games, but you can't, unfortunately. But if you get the game controller, you can play it. Now, I did see something online the other day about the game controller is not supported anymore, but every time I go on an app on here, it will tell you if it supports the game controller and the TV remote, and for the most part, everything comes up saying supports the game controller. So I don't know, I have to do a bit of research on that. I don't know how much the game controller is these days. I'm guessing about £30, probably about the same price, but we'll see. If I get the game controller, will I play the games on here? Probably not, to be honest. They're mobile games on the TV, so probably not, you know, the best thing. But it's still a cool little thing, I guess. If you've got someone, you know, like a kid or something, and you don't want them to play on your consoles, you could give them this to play on instead, so you can do that. But for the most part, I'm impressed. Something that was given to us for free. I'm definitely using this quite a bit. I think it's worth using instead of using your Xbox, because, in my opinion, because it means that your console's not on all day. So if you're someone like me that has the TV on for the kid or something like that,
Wash your fingers.
I wouldn't recommend leaving your Xbox on all day, especially if you're going to go and play it again at night. And the screensavers have just come on now, so as you can see, that's what happens. The screensavers, you can change the settings, but there you go. It gives the room a little bit of ambience. Put some peaceful music on, and there you go. You can meditate as well, I guess. But overall, I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really good little device. The only reason why it's not 10 out of 10 is because I don't think it's worth having if you don't have a smart TV, if you already got a smart TV. And like I said, you can get a lot of the stuff on here on your Xbox. But and again, like I said, a lot of the better stuff is with Prime. If you have Prime. But overall, good little device. I'm using it quite a bit. It's nice to actually have one of these now. Would I recommend having this over like Virgin or something? Probably not, no. But for the most part, it's a good little thing if you don't have cable or Virgin or, you know, Sky or BT or something. It's definitely worth having because it gives you a lot of stuff on here. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this little review, leave a like, and of course, feel free to comment below. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this little device. If you got one of these, what TV, what do you use to watch your TV? Do you watch it on the internet, like pretty much 90% of the people in the world these days? Or do you just watch it on Sky or Virgin? Or do you have a device like this? This is going to be my main TV device for now, and I'm very impressed. And of course, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be a ASMR video. Take care, and bye-bye.